이런 일을 놀랍다.
It's a really the astounding thing that the father was able to bring all thousands of young couples from all over the world, all kind of races and color of skin and nation, and gave them the match and blessing, gave them the family.
내가 요즘 생각하는
This is
너희들이
fantastic blessing.
한저의 청중 말이야. 한 1,000명, 10,000명 청중 가운데 비버가 있는데 아무 개가 오늘 죽었다 할 때는 그 1,000명 가운데 그저 걸고 있는데 거기에 있는 아들, 딸이 이렇게 된다면 눈으로 흘려. 그러면 오늘날 세계에 내버렸는 죽었다 할 때 세계 통일교의 문들 참고로 믿던 사람들은 그래도 눈으로 세계를 넘어서 버리겠구만.
So when there's thousands of people and the announcement is made that such and such died at this moment, then everybody would become kind of indifferent. But then if there is any directly related person, like such as their parents, then they will certainly shed tears. Likewise, when the people of the world, one day when Father passes away, they all will, beyond the national boundary, recognize Father's passing away. Then all will cry especially all Moonies will understand that with the directly linked parents. And your mind like that, do you feel that close to Father? We must go beyond the boundary of nation, beyond the history, beyond the time, past 100 years, 1,000 years, doesn't make difference. Beyond the time, beyond every border, we must be able to love Father.
그럴 수 있는 사람들을 되게끔 교육해야 할 책임이 있다고.
And the Father, naturally, has a responsibility to educate people. Because this result of the fall should be reversed. That takes education. Father has to educate to restore people, which Father has been doing. And today is one of those days Father is trying to re-educate, to educate for the first time the mankind rightful way, to go to rightful objective.
무슨 이익관계, 학교 선생님의 월급 관계를 보죠. 이건 나는 사실.
It is true that there is no alternative whether we should teach this or not, or whether we have to learn this or not. We have no alternative. This is something Father has to teach, and that's something we have to learn as a mankind.
너희들이 죽을 때는 나도 부모님이 내 유언을 따라 다짐없이 그 일을 하고 나도 가겠어. 이것이 너희들이 맹비할 후대의 말이야. 내가 이렇게 해서 너희 앞으로 알아서 나와 같이 오라고 가르칠 수 있는 이런 제로로서 이어받아야 되는 사실이야.
And you will remember this, and this is the very subject you must teach when you go to the spirit world to your own children. To tell your children, teach your children that I, as parents, as your direct parents, both spiritual and your physical parents, I have lived at the wake of Father's tradition, our true parents' tradition. So therefore, my children, you must live the same way as your own parents, which is me and your father, your mother. You must tell that will to your own children.
그래서 너희 아들 딸들이 나도 어머니가 숨서 사랑하고 멋있는 그 true parents 틀림없이 같습니다. 그런 답변할 아들 딸을 만들어 놓고 가요.
And your life can be called successful if you will educate your young sons and daughters. When you die, then they will say, yes, father and mother, don't worry about that. I will do better than you. You didn't do well. I will do well. That kind of sons and daughters we have to educate.
나도 부모님이 당신이 말하는 참부모님 계시면 틀림없이 하겠습니다.
Or they will say, I will do as much as you did. I will arrive to the same area where our true parents went. And no doubt you are going there. Rest assured that we will go there too and join you after we educate our own
당신은
sons,
당신은
they will say,
우리 어머니 아버지 당신들은 틀림없이 참부모를 앞에 알기 때문에 이래야 된다고.
and your sons and daughters say, we are sure that you will go where true parents will go, and don't worry about us, we will catch up with you, and we will do better than you did. And that kind of assurance you will have to get. When you do that, then your life can be called successful.
여러분들 지금 이때 열심히 하는 사람.
This is a time to educate the young people. This is the time to educate your own sons and daughters by you doing it to show it to your sons and daughters.
그래서 미국 국민이 그리고 통일교회들이 그래.
And eventually all Americans must be able to see this point. And all Unification Church members living here in America must understand the point clearly. And their children too.
이미다 많이 나려야 한다고 해서
And that kind of responsibility we still have to fulfill.
국가를 사랑했다는 애국자의 달림을 나라를 사랑.
This is the right kind of a yardstick. If you can say that and do that, then you have done to be called, worthy to be called being a patriot towards America.
그래서 금년 10월달. 금년 10월달까지는 선생님은 미국에 대해서 기도하지만 10월달로는 기도 안 하면 된다. 새벽 기도도 안 해야 되겠다.
Therefore, this month of October of 1983,
September.
September of 19,
오전까지 up to
after the 1st of October, Father will pray for America and had prayed early morning prayer for the sake of America. But from this point on, Father will no longer pray for America. Instead, Father will elevate himself to the world. Do you understand?
Yes, Father.
재판이 끝나면서 여기 보내셨다고 떠난다.
When this court case is over, Father will no longer stay in this country, but go on Father's way towards the world.
우리 남아있는 고봉까지 대법원까지 해야 할 책임이 남았구나.
But for this court case, inevitably Father has to pray, centering on this court case for the sake of America. Not for Father's own sake, but for America's sake, Father has to pray.
내 대신 이 젊은이들을 내 대신 바라고 내야만.
But then all the followers and members, Father will urge them to drive them out to pray for the sake of America in Father's place, like Father did all the past years of service here in America. How does that appeal to you?
선생님 이상이 그렇게 생각이 됐다고.
If American members does the same way as Father does, and try even to do more, then this country will be so preserved. This country can be stopped by being perished. So Father has the faith in you. Father has to leave the faith upon you,
여튼 때문에
picking up and continuing dispensation in America. So for 6 months, IOWC had a feeling. You know, when you fight a major war, first you see how it feels. This is what you have been doing. After this, we will have to go into the real war.
내 대신 한국 사람 되고, 내 대신 한국 사람 대신 일본 사람 되고.
And so far until now, Father led in person. But then from now on, Father will delegate that to the Korean leaders and let them bring you to solidarity and unity, and then let them push you out for victory.
그래서 여기 원필킴 감염을 남미 사제창도 그럽니다.
So the one take him and Mr. Kamiyama Father transfer them to South America in that sense.
한 팀은 남미로 가야 돼. 한 팀은 어떤 이제는 국가 대 원하는 역사적인 최후의 정서를 해나가는 선생님 생각을 가지고.
And these two teams and two continents will work reciprocally, and And then this is that skirmishing. In other words, Father sent out the headquarters down in South America. South America will come and help North America, and North America does the same in South America. We have to circle. No one can bring South America into unity except Reverend Moon. This is what Father clearly understands now. Americans cannot do that, but it takes Reverend Moon to do that. And then see which country people work more faithfully towards the heavenly goal. South American people or English-speaking American people, North American people. What is your guess? Who do you think will be more efficient?
America.
North American.
America.
North American.
North America.
남미가 내가 여기서 쓴 돈 갖다가 3분의 1도 안 돼서 10분의 1 다 써가지고 전 남미가 하나 될 수 있는 노력을 할 것이다.
But Father feels differently. That with the 10 times the less the people, 10 times less people bringing in the South America can yield 10 times more of the result compared to that of America.
돈을 쓰는 10분의 1 가지고도
And there's so much money Father spent for the sake of this country, and the 10 times less money Father spent to this North America, with the same amount of money, Father can move South America much better than we did here. And Father saw how it worked there in South America, and then Father just kind of did that, how they respond. And they were really responding passionately in what Father's goodwill that he wants to do towards South America.
블랙 카드를 깔아주지만 저쪽에는 골든 카드를 깔아주고
In America, the people received Father with a black carpet, but there they will receive Father with a golden carpet.
블랙 표현을 funeral.
The black is kind of a negative, that's kind of a funeral. They have mistreated, but South America will respond different way.
내가 하나님의 사랑을 몰랐으면 내가 가지고 남미를 깨봐가지고 남북의 전쟁을 일으킬 수 있는 이런 능력들은 사람이야. 하나님을 알기 때문에 그런 못해서 그렇지.
Father really see that such injustice that's prevailing in this country can really make these people launch an attack to these people through South America. But Reverend Moon cannot do that. He will not do that. He is the religious person or the godly person that is to reflect God's love, not God's hatred.
내가 만약에 정교지대라면 영원한 대원수가 역사상에 레브론으로부터 남미를 통해서 100년 전쟁, 1000년 전쟁을 하더라도 미국을 밀어버릴 수 있는 노름을 시켰을지 모르겠어.
If Reverend Moon had such a sense of righteousness, but not religious person, then would have tried to retaliate such a absurd enemy, such a wicked and evil enemy, even though one has to wage a 100-year war. But Father cannot do that and will not do that, because Father wants to reflect God's love. Do you understand?
Yes.
그만큼 마음이 서러워서.
That means Father is taking much more seriously than average American would ever think Father took seriously their opposition towards Father. And Father tries his best to forget everything, knowing God forgot a lot of things in the past.
이 사람들은 남미 사람을 견디라고 북미 사람을 견디라고 한다는 얘기야.
But then ultimately, what does Reverend Moon want to do in North America? He will try to find different way of saving them. First awaken and perfect the South American people, and let them marry North American people. And when they marry, all the married people have to do is just tag along with the spouse, advance the spouse. That way, Father may see the hope of salvation of America.
그걸 걱정하지 말라고.
So in either way, whether Americans take a leadership and initiative and save his own country, or let the South American do it, either way should be okay. So don't worry too much about America failing the Earth mission.
미국의 위세는 서슴.
But see, the first generation of Americans may come against Reverend Moon, father, but all of the second generation, the younger people, eventually will be on the side of the father and against their own parents.
레브런문이 이 나라 때 자기 자손들이 얼마나 잘못했던 틀림없이 한다.
And when Reverend Moon leaves this country, then they will understand how much injustice this country did towards Reverend Moon.
세컨드 제너레이션 유대 클리어리
And second generation knows clearly about this.
리펜트 에타 리펜트 바로 역사와 더불어 살고 있는 레브런님 역사를 위해 살고 있는 레브런님을 알겠다. 그래서 망하는 역사 아니야. 그래서
The Father's way of life that Father shows to us is we are living this earth, this life, for the sake of the history. History is long lasting. There are billions of people that have to follow us in our wake. We have that in mind when we do this and do that and don't do this and don't do that. We live with history in mind, not me and today in mind. We must understand that.
그런 사람들이야.
And
시대는 떠나버린 거야. 시대는 원수시하는 거야.
like every people in every generation, the one who tried to live along with the history, for the sake of the history, was always, without exception, led a miserable life. But ultimately their life was not so miserable. It was a glorious life and successful life. Likewise, if we do this, even though we may seem miserable at the moment, but the promise, success is promised, our glory is promised. Because no one can live better than that.
모든 걸 알겠으니 엔타.
Even though modern world is against Reverend Moon, so much and so ridiculously, still
레브런 라이프타임, 모든 라이프타임 against all lifetime.
so we live like Father, with history in mind. What we do can bring forth such an effect in the future.
그래서 너희들 역사를 바로 세워야 할 책임이다 보는 거야.
So, Mooney, as a Mooney, we have the responsibility of straighten the wrong history out.
You have to make a clear foundation of history. History. That is Moon's duty or responsibility.
That is our responsibility.
그 사람이
Yes.
this kind of position you can take this. 세미. 너희들은 지금 뭐 이런 그런 포지션을 만들어야 돼. 미국 내에 만들면 이세로
We must,
If you doesn't make this like foundation, second generation include perish. So we have to make this more. You have to make this like new foundation. After war, so you follow me?
Yes, Father.
All life. Making history. That is our honest duty in this modern. You follow me?
Yes, Father.
We cannot play. 이런 엄중한 명령을 내리려고 했던 사실.
so this is the Father's the command and command of transition, you might say.
오늘부터
That,
새로운 것 지금까지 불평했지만 이제는 내가 불평하지 않습니다.
until now, Father have tolerated to many different the complaints of the things of that nature, but from this day on, Father will not accept that.
무슨 말인지
Do you understand?
여기
Yes, Father.
차이를 한 번 더 서들어보자.
Those who are state leaders and RWC leaders and readers, raise your hands, please.
잘 살고 싶은 사람이 있으면 편하게 살고 싶은 사람은 이제 여기서 일어서 나가라. 3년 후에 10년 후에 어느 건데 영사.
Be practical, that if you don't want to pioneer the way, that just is not type, you cannot do that, then you can leave at the moment and come back in 3 or 4 years and join United Church easier way.
After making tradition.
After making
Come
tradition.
back here. And then I am against. I am not against you.
Then Father will accept that. Father will not go against that.
Promise.
Father will promise that you can tag along at the end of the line there, if you so wish.
그 사람 없어?
And this is a practical thing too. Does anybody would like to do that? Leave now and use as a ordinary member. 2, 3, 4 years after the tradition is made, the things become much easier. You can come and become an average member of the Unification Church. You can do that. Father will especially allow.
없어?
No one who would like to do that?
나는 모르고. 미국 나라에 하늘나라가 남겨진 트디션이 있어 없어?
Let Father ask you a question. In America, do you have any tradition in this country which the heaven left behind in this country? Some tradition, American can proudly say, oh Father, this tradition is heavenly tradition and we need to preserve this for the rest of our history.
있어?
Do you or don't you think you have?
Yes.
뭐 있어?
What is it?
I think America has fought in World War I and World War II for the sake of freedom of other countries.
전쟁 때문에 이 공산당 때문에 좀 미국 교회가 남아있는데 미국 자체가 망하겠다고.
All right? You may get the credit for that. You did it, but then what is a result of fighting that war? Is that allowing all the churches being allowed to infiltrate the communism and the God, despising, God-denying communism coming to move into this country? That is the victory you won for the sake of the world? And you cherish that as tradition?
미국이 얼마나 공산당 여기 이사년 전만 해도 공산당만 해도 봤어요. 몇십 년 빨간 줄데 꼼짝 못하고 이거 좀 천하에 충실된다고.
The communism are rampant. Their activities undeterred, unchecked. They can do almost anything that they want to in this country.
한비행가 지금 60km인가지 뭐냐 169명가 전부 다 이게 전부 다 옥살박살 인도들에서 미국의 상발 똥튀었는 가고 리간이 뭐 한마디 했다고 이놈이 전부 다뭐 앤드루 퍼튼 이런 거 자식들 전부 다 강력한 저출처 같다고 더리 배짱 쓰는 그걸 보고 좋아?
You think America has done and so successful winning World War II that now the Russia, the enemy, will shoot down the airplane just like a shooting down a bus in the highway and try to get away from it, killing 50 Americans, and the President Reagan say something against that. Because he said something against that, Andropov is so mad and say they're going to be stronger towards America, and America take that. What kind of a country is this?
유엔은 뭐래 유엔?
What great victory have you achieved in winning World War II for the sake of mankind?
그 유엔 만들어서 유엔.
What victory did you accomplish by establishing United Nations? Except
미국
being a playground of communism.
공산당 국가에서 생각을 몰라?
What do you think you are being proud of what America did in the past? Do you still think you are proud of being an American for what America did in the past? Forget it. Shut that out.
뭐다?
None. In the tradition of God, America has not done anything except what Red and Moon did in this country.
갈 길은 문이란 말이야. 국민의 세계와 건강을 전체를 청산짓고 새로운 세계의 전투를 내릴 수 있는 거죠.
There's nothing which America showed for the direction of God, which Father came, Reverend Moon came, cleared everything, showed them example. They didn't take seriously, but history will see that this is not serious thing what accomplished in American history.
우리들은 아무리 고생해도 이 새로운 트레디션을 나라의 행사야. 이게 뭐야?
So it's up to the Mooney to recognize this tradition beyond any doubt, make it a point to Americans and reawaken Americans to see this difference of a true tradition of heaven and what seems to be a tradition of heaven. We get that.
이 역사적인 몸이 트레디션을 인간마저 안 받을 수 없게끔 이것을 만들어 정한될 것이 이제 뭔가 이 3년 동안에 하는 공부를
So in next 3 years to come, what Mooney has to do is forget himself, dedicate his whole life and family towards this re-educating America, to awaken this America, and seek the possible being excused by heaven.
이것이 유행같이 퍼지는 날에는 세계사. 원하는 뭐 히피, 뭐 디스코 댄스 이 시한 것들은 세계에 전부 유행같이 퍼져나가는데.
Like a disco dance and
운동을 유행같이 퍼져나가.
hip and hippie, like they're kind of a fad and fashion. They are almost everywhere. Instantly the young people will join there. Likewise, when our movement, when Mooney's movement will become like that, then this will quickly change America. The people will really join, young people will really join like a crazy person for this goal.
내가 넥타이 뽑으는 운동할 것이다. 넥타이 뽑으는 세계의 패션이 버리지 못해.
So, like a father will create a fashion that no necktie is a new fashion. And since father's words is so meaningful in this history of this country and the God, so they take it seriously and they take every necktie off out of their neck. What happened?
그때는 이 하루에 말이야. 야, 미국 사람은 얼마나 뭘 마셔? 무슨 주스 하루에 몇 시간씩 먹어?
And
딱 둘이 그냥 하나. 그럼 국민의 투택을 하나 좀 해야 되겠어.
then we have so many soft drinks here, from the morning until evening. They're always drinking soft drinks. There's many kinds too. So now we say this is not good for the sake of the economy of this country. By consensus, let's vote which the soft drink will survive. And not one soft drink we will drink. Everyone will drink.
나는 해봐도 진생은 내가 만들어가지고 나 진생을 바로 난 못.
Father cannot say that because that's what Father created. The people who immediately say, "Oh, you say jinsen up because that's what you made."
진생 없이 뭐 인체에 나쁜 것도 제가 해버려.
If jinsen up is more harmful to the human body than Coca-Cola, maybe then we have to abolish jinsen up.
그래 지금까지 먹어 치워버리고 태워버린 담배값들 전부 다 모아서 버려버리냐. 불쌍한 세계 우리 식구들 하나님의 아들 딸들 내게 살리자.
But if everybody give up a cigarette, then what we're going to do with that money? Then of course, we're going to spend that money for the poor people, starving people around the world. If Father does that, then is it something to be opposed? This country needs to learn to be frugal, needs to save a lot of things and divert that saving into helping the less fortunate people. And do you know how many kinds of cosmetics there are in the cosmetic counter in the department store?
우리 무는 카세 뭐야 얼마냐?
And how about the Mooney's cosmetics?
Very simple. 없은 데는 빨간 있지.
That's we hardly use any cosmetics. Sometimes we are out of it, and they use substitute, like a red oil or
I
something.
mean, Moorish women doesn't have that kind of cosmetic. One, at the time, we need some kind of cosmetic. Immediately use red ink. 내가 좀 미국 살기 같은 그 사람이
But if father, why does father do that? If father does that out of fun, then it's ununderstandable, unacceptable. But if father does that because this will help a great deal to save the world and help save the world, why not do that? Nothing wrong father sees in it. In fact, not doing is wrong.
이것도 이왕에 툭 잘라버려.
Like the man's trouser. Who said the trouser should cover to the ankle?
내 그짓을 알로.
Like father said, all the trousers should come to the knee high. You know, the mini pants. And save material twice. In other words, you make 2 pair of pants instead of 1. And save the unfortunate, unclad, the rest of the population. The God will say, you're wrong.
이 머리를 왜 이렇게 잘랐어? 할 수 없이 세계를 해서 세계 사람 도와주고 잘라서 이렇게 자르자면 얼마나 거룩한.
Now you are wearing the short hair, and being asked, why are you wearing short hair? Then you say, well, if it's long, it's too cumbersome to walk. So by having short hair, so that I can walk fast and work more to save the world. Then God will praise you.
팔아서 그 돈을 모아가지고 세계 사람 살기 위해서.
Or to sell that hair, and with that price, we will support the unfortunate the members of the family in the world.
얼마나 woman safe하고 수면.
And they will respect you for wearing short hair because of that reason. We're like saying woman saints.
선생님 그냥 손톱을 잘라.
Yes, the father urges everyone to have a short nail, so that when they work hard, they wouldn't damage the fingers.
손톱 따려면 30분 이상 걸려. 30분 이상. 1시간 이상 걸린다. 30분 이상 걸린다.
Yeah, taking care of the fingers takes a long time.
선생님 손톱이 이렇게 짧다.
So father's fingers nail is always short.
피나오. 이놈의 이 자식아 왜 피나와? 이 피를 놔주는 이 피는 주님으로 들어간다.
When it bleeds, father just reprimand his fingers, and when it does that, when it's strong about that, then the germ cannot infiltrate into it. Father really scolds the finger.
사랑하는 마음 가지고 흘리는 그 피는 그 점 들어와서 못 빨아먹는다고.
So the germs cannot even come and try to take advantage of that blood, the same blood which is shed for the sake of the mankind. Even germs cannot get into that blood.
점 들고 다니는 사람 줄 안다.
The germs even germs can distinguish situation, whether someone that they can invade into or someone which he cannot invade into. Germ has that discretion.
자, 새로운 전쟁 한번 만들 거야, 안 만들 거야?
So,
결론이야.
are we ready to begin to establish a new tradition here in America and therefore on earth?
Yes.
Or not?
Yes.
쉬운 일이야, 어려운 일이야?
And do you think or do you expect that to be an easy one?
No.
하나 필요하다. 제땅 하는 실력을 가지고 하나님과
So, now you must be confident. You are already sons and daughters of God, not someone that try to be. You have already tried it and you want it, you are. Therefore, nothing is impossible on you. Once you make up your mind, you can do it.
나 하나님 닮았다. 하나님이 한번 원리가 딱 작정해서 천년 만들어가지고도 저를 세우려고 그 수능하려고 하는 하나님입니다.
Father learned from God too. Once God established a certain tradition, certain law, for thousands of years He will never change it. He will go on and on and on and on, no matter how difficult it is. That's what God is going to achieve. Father learned from God about that. Therefore, it's a time that we learned from Father. That is what Father does.
그래서 지상에서 살던 사람이 그 원칙에 살지 않는 것을 다시 재개혁하기 위해서겠다. 쌓아준 지역이야. 몇 천년 몇 만년 가지고도 그 원칙에 통과할 수 있다는 기대해서 지역의 수많은 군사를 기다리고 있는 하나가.
God does not enjoy people going to satanic side. Look, you didn't listen to the Messiah, so it serves you well, and it serves you right. You go to hell. It's not God that will feel that kind of way. There's no way that there's nothing God can do about that. Therefore, God is temporarily allowing everybody go to hell, millions of billions of them, hold them temporarily until such time as the Unification Church will win over the world. After that, the great big new re-education will begin in the spirit world. God is waiting for that one day. The training centers in spirit world by billions. This is what we are planning now, what God is planning now.
너희가 저 나라 교회가 다 있어? 이 나라의 전통도 못 쓰고 어떻게 생각해?
And if you're not a good teacher here, if you're not a good tradition establisher here, you cannot go to spirit world and try to teach somebody.
이 나라에서 다른 전통을 내.
So here, somehow, at any cost, we must be successful in accomplishing tradition here on earth, here in America. After that, we may go to spirit world one day and conduct a training for millions, billions of spirit people who are waiting in hell to be liberated.
어때?
And this is a reality. This is the real plan. How does that sound to you?
말은 쉽지 않게.
That's easy in saying, but are we going to do that, establish the tradition here on earth?
이제부터 선생님이 주일날 얘기 안 해도 좋지.
That with that, the father need not to speak to congregation every morning, every Sunday morning, does he?
No.
He does not have to do that, does he?
No, it doesn't.
이거 왜 노야? 아직 할 정도라고 노야?
No, that means yes, father, you don't need to do that. That's what you mean, right?
지금까지 말한 모든 미국의 전통을 내려놓기 위해서 지금까지 가르치고.
Yes, father, you need not talk to us now, because you have given us already enough. We know already enough. It's all matter of practicing it, doing it. If I know more, hopefully it will help me do better, but unless that, I don't need any more talk. I need just do it.
응?
Is that right?
Yes,
너희들 그렇게 얘기하는 것이 없다. 얼마나 많이 가르쳐줬어.
And the Father taught you so much that no one can really justly say that, Father, somehow you didn't teach us enough. We need a little more. We
너희들은
cannot say that.
여기 오는 하늘교회 주일날 선생님 말씀 드리는 건 좋지만 선생님 말씀 일하고 노력하는 말씀은 싫다.
Can you say, well, Father, what you taught us, I appreciate. I really love that, but when I try to do that, that's the part I don't like. We've been in that mood a long time, but we cannot say that. I mean, once we learn, why do we learn? To do we learn, don't we?
너 뭐래?
So this is what we have to do. We have known more than enough to do, so we have to do more than learn more.
So far you've been making some kind of treats. Yeah.
So building tradition,
So only making the kind of working.
so that we will do this working. And the leader from the European leader, let Father see your face and
Raise hand.
raise hands. Raise hands high.
너들은 아이고 우리나라 돌아가면 좋겠다 생각했어 안 했어?
Have you not thought that, oh, I wish I would go back to the country I come from? Why do I have to do here in America? Have you ever thought that way?
회사제.
You must no doubt have thought like that. Oh, Father, I have enough to do in my own country. Why do I go here?
너 나라와 미국은 세계적 기준이고 너 나라는 국가적 기준이야. 호라야 돼. 호라하려고.
But you must understand quickly that America stands on the world level, whereas your own country stands on the national level, which is one level lower.
무슨 말이겠어?
Do you understand?
여기서 더비 나라는 던져서 유일한 몇배 노력을 하더니 만든 데가 있다.
So the Germany, if you are any country from Europe leader, you must work many times harder here in America than you worked or you would have worked in your own country.
그래서 구라파에 있던 사람이 구라파보다는 여기 미국이 일하기 쉽다. 안 돼. 일본에 있던 사람이 일본보다 미국이 쉽다. 안 돼. 한국에서 일하는데 미국이 일하기 쉽다는 거 안 되나?
So any leader that comes from, or any member or leader comes from Europe and say, oh, coming to America, this is much easier than my ordinary work in Europe. Such a person is not acceptable, not accepted. Father reprimand such a person. Like a Japanese says, oh, it's much more difficult to work in Japan than it is here. Or this one is easy. All I have to do is just follow this routine. It's easy. It just does not become like that. Like a Korea. Oh, American people, because they are so good-natured and whatever. It's so easy to do work here.
또 미국 사람들 아이고 지금까지 일보다 이거 어떻게 살아봤겠어요? 다 그만두면 그만뒀지. 지금보다 더 편하산데 더라.
Like Americans, no matter what difficulty you had to go through in the past, don't expect that you slacken that intensity. You have to maintain and you have to work even harder than that to accomplish this ultimate goal.
무슨 세계 이상의 전통을 세우는
Because we have to,
세계 이상의 전통을 세우는 때문에 아까 도시도 더 그런 생각하네.
so we have to, what we are here is not to maintain temporary status of America. We are about to change the fate of the world, including that of America. We simply have to resolve absolutely drastic way. Dr. Durst even have to think that he is in the troop of revolutionizing the spirit of the mankind. Not just the routine doings of American president of association or member of the family.
저희 3시간 자라고 명령하면 권안 적 같지.
When father will give downright command, sleep only 3 hours a day and work. You say, oh father, I'll do everything, but please reserve that. Please take that word back.
레스토리아 관리야. 24시간 가운데서 3시간 21시간은 내가 일해야 겠다.
Why 3 hours of sleep? Well, not 3 hours of sleep, but we have 24 hours a day, and we need to work at least 21 hours out of the one day. Therefore, what's remaining is only 3 hours. So, if more hours are remaining, we can sleep more.
왜 웃어?
Why do you laugh? Because 21 hours we must work is the criteria father is setting.
그게 살았다. 7년 동안
And
돌리고 살아.
if father didn't do that and asked you to do that, then you have a reason to even think a different way. But when father did that and tells you to do the same thing, whether you can do it or not is quite something else. But you cannot protest father. Mother, you can't say that to us.
선생님 그게 살았는데 이렇게 해라고 너날 싫어. 그럴 수 있겠나? 그래야 내가 갔어. 이야, 우리가 원하던 바로 선생님 참 좋은 말씀해서 감사합니다. 얻은 거야.
When father said that after he done for 7, 8 years here, then you say, oh father, I was waiting for that. I was waiting when you want to say that because I want to be a very much part of your tradition. So father, that suits me fine. From this day on, I will do it. Would you just go ahead and say that?
Yes.
Yes.
Or, father, I can't do that.
아이고 궁둥이가 땅에 붙어서 안 떨어져 있는 궁둥이가 나랑 떠서 궁둥이가 날 보려고 야단을 말이야. 아이고 가슴이 이게 전부 다 늘어져가지고 일하다 보니까 가슴이 늘어져가지고 이거 가슴이 다 떨어지겠어. 이 가슴 좀 건강 한번 테스트해서 그렇게 만났어. 아이 어쩌고서.
But after doing for 7 days or what a week, the sleep of 3 hours, and then you say, oh, my hip just won't get off the chair or to get off the bed. My every part of the body aches, and please make me exempt.
가슴에 있는 저 의자에서 기대고 살던 늙는 사람이 이게 죽을 지가 아니야.
And you know, the large, the breast, to bring the weight down. By laying down, you know, she can rest, but so she has difficulty in working around so many hours.
세 시간 이상 딱타도 3시간 이상 못 자면 딱타도스도 바닥에 싸갔지.
If this is a strict command that not more than 3 hours you can sleep, then the doctor does too will at some point pack away and you know, go to maybe a motorcycle team or something.
그래 뭐 한일 사람이나 동양 사람이나 수영을 하면 안 되죠.
You may say, well, the Orientals may be built that way, but not the Westerner. You know, statistics show so. Well, do you think the same thing applies to heavenly kingdom? Hardly. You can say the heavenly work can be done in American concepts.
너들 지금 한국 사람하고 뭐 일본 사람 들어가지고 너 들어가서 착취하고 절 따라왔다고.
By this time, you may know
백인들이 하는 거다 빨리 알아.
that you may think that the Koreans or Japanese, with no exception, will come here and exploit something out of the Americans. Not so. There's a history, lots of history that Westerner, you know, white people exploited from each other and from other races, and you know, that's a